but you can control how you react to your ego being hurt. It's a little harder when your reputation gets hurt.
Yeah,
that's harder to, because that's something you can spend years building,
right?
But it can be torn down in an instant, and to rebuild.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually very tough.
I feel comfortable saying it with a mask on.
Yeah,
with my mask off, we might have a different conversation about the. But mask on, Lucha Daddy, it is.
Thank you. So I lost a few amazing people in my life. I lost them in the sense of I lost myself for a few minutes. But
you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are.
I'm just gonna say it in a threatening manner. You know who you are.
You know who you are. And I wanted him to have a third eye on there, so that it was open to art, music, people, culture, everything.
Yeah.
He was just awake, and he was going to be accepting of all. This is what the logo was supposed to be. I was constantly under the influence of everything, and I was a big party guy. But now that I look back, and it's not really a reforming of him, it's a reforming of myself as Jesse, who I decided I wanted to be, and who I decided that I wanted my kids to look at and say, oh, I'm kind of proud of him. Or my friends, I wanted them to say, he took chances, and he didn't succeed at all of them, but he took chances. He said he was going to do something. He did it. And the things that he accomplished, wow. Maybe that helps push other people.
Hey, welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast podcast. In this episode, we're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. If this is something that you are kind of into, if you know what I mean.
Masks.
Two grown men in masks. I feel like I'm going to breathe heavy the whole podcast. In this episode, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the infamous El Luchador Bar here in San Antonio, Texas. I've been to this bar a few times, and I really do like it a lot. I like the theme. Obviously, by now people know I'm a wrestling fan, and I grew up in Mexico. Well, I didn't grow up in Mexico, but I was born in Mexico, so I grew up with a lot of the also lucha libre culture and fandom that comes with that.
What part of Mexico?
My sister's gonna hate when I say this because I always say it wrong. Piedras Negras, Coahuila. Coahuila. There you go. But we're here with the owner, the Lucha Daddy himself.
Lucha Daddy.
Jesse Campos from El Luchador here in San Antonio. We're gonna get to know him, get to know the bar, how it started. And then at the end, I'm going to try to reveal his face. People know that you're never supposed to.
No, you're never supposed to.
You're not supposed to, but, maybe we'll do it, maybe not. So listen back, buckle up, let's go too hard, too fast. Oh.
Hi, this is Jesse Campos with El Luchador Bar, a.k.a. Lucha Daddy. And we're here on Too Hard, Too Fast.
Señores y señores, make sure that you are ready. ¿Están listos? Yo estoy listo. Lucha Daddy, Luchador Bar.
How you doing?
Lucha Daddy. Should I call you Lucha Daddy this whole time?
Call me Lucha Daddy while I have my mask on. I think I feel more comfortable when you call me Lucha Daddy.
Perfect. I feel comfortable.
If anybody sees me out and about, just call me Lucha Daddy. Yeah, I know that. Turn around real quick.
I feel comfortable saying it with a mask on.
Yeah, with
my mask off, we might have a different conversation about the. But mask on, Lucha Daddy, it is.
Thank you.
And the more this podcast goes on, the sexier I'm gonna keep saying.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of sexy when you say it. Just don't look at me in the eyes when I'm saying it. And the whole reason I actually named myself Lucha Daddy, there was one of my bar patrons. She would come in, and she would tell me hi, and then one day she messaged me. She said, "Hey, are you gonna be at the bar, Lucha Daddy?" And it always stuck in the back of my head. And I tried naming this guy so many names, and It was Dr. Frisian. It was Dr. X. I was trying to just name them all these different characters, and somebody told me, well, his name is actually Luchador Bar, and I didn't like that, and so I put my mask away. After a few stunts, I was trying to use him in a way to advertise for the bar, and he became a little too comedic, and I didn't like it. So I put the mask away for almost a year and a half. And I thought it was time to bring him back out, and I didn't have a name for him. So when I walked into the bar, my buddy was like, we're going to do some promos. We need to do it. You need to be up, active, full of energy. So I came in and I said, all right, guys, Lucha Daddy's in the house. I need quiet on the set. We're going to be doing some promos. And they started laughing. They were like, Lucha Daddy. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to stick with that. Lucha Daddy it is. Mm-hmm. So I haven't changed it. I'm already making shirts with it. I have the Lucha Daddy gang. I have the Lucha Daddy t-shirts, maybe some hats, koozies. It's going to be a whole thing.
I like the idea of it, and also how you said that it was becoming very comedic.
Yeah.
So that kind of touches base with me a little bit too. When starting the podcast, I started putting out some videos where I wasn't the most proud of, and I think they're still up. I'm not like, ashamed about them. I'm very careful with what I put on the internet. If it's on the internet, like I tell everybody, all my stuff is public.
Yeah.
I don't need to hide it, because whatever I put out is because I want people to see it.
Yeah.
But I would put out a couple of videos, and they were a little cringy. They are cringy, and I realized, no, I don't want to be this guy. Like, I know there's a lot of people that put out videos to be funny, and they're comedic.
Yeah.
And then some people that are doing it because they know they get the cringiness or the whatever it is. I just don't want to be known as I want to be known as the funny, a podcaster that's funny versus the funny guy on the internet.
Right.
Or the guy on the internet that's funny. Right.
And when I was doing it, I didn't realize he was becoming a little too comedic, and it wasn't. There was a point where I was doing a whole skit.
Yeah.
I took them all down, so nobody will be able to find them. I took them all down. I was doing a skit, and it started off really, really great, and the storyline was really great until I was actually getting beat up in my own bar, and the other person was the victor.
Was it more like a? Were you doing like a Globetrotters kind of thing, where they're always facing the same guys, and they're usually trying to win?
I'm trying not to say who it was. Me and that person. It was a big TikToker.
Oh, okay.
Here in San Antonio, and he does his own stuff. Mm-hmm. It's great.
Yeah, we don't have to name him.
It's awesome. But when we did our own thing together,
you know who you are.
Yeah, you do know.
No, I'm just kidding.
When we did it together, it became him. And yes, he was helping me out, but I didn't like being the butt of the jokes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it kind of hurt my reputation. It hurt my ego a little bit. It hurt my reputation. I know that sounds really dumb.
No, it doesn't. Look, okay, so like everybody, we all have an ego. And I tell people all the time, not all the time. I don't know why I said that. But I have conversations. I've had this kind of conversations where like sometimes the only thing getting hurt is our ego, but yet that's the worst thing to get hurt. Yeah. You know, it hurts sometimes more than an injury.
Yeah.
But you can control how you react to your ego being hurt. It's a little harder when your reputation gets hurt.
Yeah,
that's harder to, because that's something you can spend years building.
Right. But
it can be torn down in an instant, and to rebuild.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually very tough, and that's what it wasn't his fault, and I just want to let him know it wasn't your fault. It was a combination of me not knowing what I was getting myself into, excited to create a character, that I didn't. I hadn't. Who knows how to create characters? I don't. I've asked a million people, how do you create a character? I don't know. I don't know. But people were wanting me to create a character. And if they didn't know how to create a character,
Yeah.
how was I supposed to know how to create a character? So I just kept on going. I kept on trying different things, different names, different scenarios. And when we got to the end of that series that we were doing together, I took my mask off. I had lost a few people that were telling me, "Is this what you're wanting your character?" I didn't think this is what you wanted your character to be like.
Right.
I didn't think you wanted your bar to be like this, known like this. I thought you wanted it to be this and this and this. So I lost a few amazing people in my life because not that I lost them in the sense of I lost myself for a few minutes, and I took my mask off for almost a year and a half. I had to think about what I was doing. I had to think about what direction I wanted to go into. I was having a lot of issues in my personal life and here at the bar, and I was trying to grasp everything. And now that I've found amazing partners, Ben and Bonnie, how are you doing? Amazing people. If you come into the bar, they're here. They always have a smile on their face. They're always sitting on that side right over there. Go say hi to them. Amazing people. And with them, I'm able to create this character, create the list of drinks, create the shirts, create a really magical atmosphere when you walk in.
Yeah.
And back then, if I would have done it back then, it wouldn't have been what I was envisioning. It would have been a little bit. You'd have walked in, and it would have been a little cringy. It would have been cringy. And right now, it's not cringy. It's fun. It's energetic. People just love talking to each other here. So don't ever feel afraid to come into this bar. Everybody is so excited to see new faces.
Yeah.
They just want to talk to you.
And I can testify to that. When I first came in, I was meeting a friend here, and it turned out that I guess you guys were having like a networking event.
Yeah.
At the time, and he was part of it, and he neglected to tell me that, Hector.
Oh, hey, Hector. I know Hector. Hi, Hector.
So he neglected to tell me that, and so I walk in. I'm like, the lady at the entrance told me if I had a ticket or if I was gonna pay for a ticket, and I was like, no, I'm just here to hang. She goes, well, this is what's going on. She was very friendly the whole time, and I was like, well, I'm gonna hang over here, and then we'll figure things out. So I felt like a little out of place at first, but it took very little time for me to like feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
The bartender was friendly. I didn't feel pushed. Like I don't know what to order. Usually I go for the same, drink most of the time. If it's vodka water, or give me a tequila shot and a beer. And that's what saved me. I was like, you guys have the shot combos, so
Yeah.
I love that. When people have shot combos, I'm like, all right.
Not only do we have shot combos, when you come into the bar, you can bring your dates in. I think it's a cool date spot. We have a list of drinks, and you can choose from those drinks on your preference of sweetness or your preference of liquor. And now we're not a fancy bar. So our drinks are very good, but they're very simple.
Yeah.
About 3 ingredients each. We are a speed bar, so we keep it down to about 3 ingredients. Shake it up, pour it in there. It looks very nice. Your dates will love it. And, you can get, like you said, your shot and beer combo. We have all kinds of different beers on tap, and different craft beers that you can choose out of the beer fridge. Mm-hmm. So we have something for everybody here.
Yeah.
And we also have pop-ups on food too. So I don't know if we had food that day.
Not that day, but like I said, like I felt very comfortable instantly. And then I don't know if the networking event was over or not, but they were like, "Come on over," and I just came back to the event and hanging out with people, just
I remember
talking
that
to
night.
everybody. It was nice.
It was very nice.
I had a really good time, and then I came back a couple more times. Brought my brother in. My brother instantly liked the place. One of his profile pictures he just got on Instagram, and one of his main posts on there is like right outside the bar right here, where the
really
Lucha
cool.
Mask face is
Yeah.
at. Leading up.
Lucha, that's Lucha Daddy's picture, by the way.
Lucha Daddy.
Yeah, that's my mural. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's right there. You're on his Instagram. He's like leaning onto the on a pole and just kind of like acting all cool.
And just so that people know, the logo was made way before I actually became Lucha Daddy. That logo was made by Regina, a very talented artist here in San Antonio. She's helping me make the Lucha Daddy T-shirts. Yeah, people always ask me, "Is that you?" No, I had the mask made years and years after the logo actually came out.
So the logo was first, and then the mask.
The logo was first, and the reason I even chose that, she had a whole bunch of different logos that she had us look at, and I'm always a person that looks at a logo and says, "Will I remember that? Will I remember that? Will I remember that?" And some of the logos that you remember are like McDonald's, and you remember now Whataburger and Griff's. Who can forget Griff's? You know Griff's?
I've heard of it. I've never.
Oh no! Okay, you can go to
Griff's
you need to go to
Burgers,
Griff's
right?
Burger. Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah. So or Burger Boy. You know, I'm naming some of the things here in San Antonio. So there was a bar that before I opened a bar, there was a bar that I would go to, and I had gloves, and I believe it was called Stay Golden or Still Golden, or Golden Gloves. I think it was all of those, because they would get shut down and open another one. Should get shut down, open another one, and they had these gloves, and they looked like golden gloves, and that was their logo, and I was like, that's one of the coolest logos I've seen for a bar. And so I wanted to be as cool as them. So shout out to whoever created that logo, because that was my inspiration to create something like what we have here. That was cool.
And so, what attracted you? Like, why the star? Why the face?
So
blue?
the star was actually supposed to be an eye. The colors, I let her go. So we told her the reason it became a Luchador Bar. I had lost my job for a while, and I wanted to open up my own business. I thought, it's going to be super easy. I'm going to make money right away. And I didn't want to open up a bar. I wanted to open up a coffee shop. But things happened, and I talked to some people, and we invested, and we opened up a bar. And when we were opening it up, you never know what you're going to name the bar. And luckily I had some crazy people that were opening the bar with me. And they said, all right, our homework assignment is come up with 3 different names of the bar and why we should name it that. Now, I wasn't the guy that named it a Luchador Bar. It was somebody else. And shout out to you. You know who you are. But I took,
know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. I took a
Just
hold of
say it
that.
in a threatening manner. You know who you are.
You know who you are. And one of the other partners didn't like it. I loved it. He was excited about it. And one of the other guys was like, will it attract women? You know, that was the first thing he said.
Yeah.
And I took it home and I thought about it. And I came back and said, yeah, it'll attract women. It'll attract men. It'll attract everybody. Because look at how colorful it is. Look at how beautiful it is. Look at how beautiful this artwork is.
Yeah, you can see like the mask behind us, and throughout the podcast, I'm gonna show like the surrounding areas because there's art and posters and lights everywhere, so it looks like a really cool place.
Yeah, so that goes back to the logo, and so the main thing was we're in the arts district, in Southtown. We're at the very end of the arts district, or Southtown district. King William district. We're at the end of that whole thing. So it needed to be a little bit artsy. And I wanted him to have a third eye on there, so that it was open to art, music, people, culture, everything.
Yeah.
He was just awake, and he was going to be accepting of all. This is what the logo was supposed to be. But when she came up with that star, it's a little crooked. It's a little crooked star up on there. I I decided, you know what? I like that better than the eye.
Yeah.
The eye is cool, a cool idea, but it's a lone star.
Yeah.
You know,
Texas.
and I think it represents a lot of things. When I take it off of the mask and put it on something, you can tell that that's our star. So it represents El Luchador, that star. Or you take off any little piece of that mask, and it represents us. So that I liked it. We went with it. It's now in a bunch of shirts. People wearing them all over the place. That's what's the craziest part is when I go to HEB, and I'm shopping, and I look up, and I see my shirt on somebody that's purchasing something at HEB, and I just stare at it. It's so cool seeing what you've created over the years, and somebody's wearing it or somebody's talking about it.
Yeah.
And that feels great on the heart. And that's why I had to get rid of old Lucha Daddy for a while. Well, his name was Dr. Frisian. I had to get rid of Dr. Frisian for a while. So, and then here comes Lucha Daddy to follow all of this beautiful stuff that we're doing so far.
That's a great way to build a story. Like, that's almost like very much WWE style kind of building of a character. Like, they try out something. Usually the characters hate it, or it doesn't grab the people. It takes a downward spiral. They go away for a little bit, and then when they come back a new person, almost similar character, but just different in almost every other way.
Yeah.
And that's. I mean, like I said, I'm a big wrestling fan. So that's how I'm seeing it. Like, it's made a triumphant return.
Yeah. I have another story about Lucha Daddy coming to life. And this was this is where my friends are right now. All my friends that are listening to this are rolling their eyes all at the same time because they know exactly which story I'm about to tell. This is a story about the beginnings, another beginning of Lucha Daddy, which I didn't realize he was being formed at that time. But now that I look back, and it's not really a reforming of him, it's a reforming of myself as Jesse, who I decided it's a decision you have to make, who I decided I wanted to be, and who I decided that I wanted my kids to look at and say, oh, I'm kind of proud of him. Or my friends, I wanted them to say, he took chances, and he didn't succeed at all of them, but he took chances. He said he was going to do something. He did it. And the things that he accomplished, wow, maybe that helps push other people to be badasses or lucha daddies. And one of the things during COVID, if you knew me before COVID, you met some crazy guy. You met a crazy guy, and I'm not like him anymore. I was constantly under the influence of everything, and I was a big party guy. I just I came out to party, and COVID happens. Well, it shuts everything down. And I'm doing renovations here and there on the bar, and my cousins it was a little after COVID, and they were like, hey, let's go for drinks. And I still hadn't decided to create something different for myself, even though I started working out a little bit more and here and there, riding my bike, reading a little bit more. I hadn't changed my mindset, and until I got drunk. I climbed up on my roof, and people right here will say they'll have a million different stories on the way this happened, but I lost my balance and I fell off my roof right here in the front, and I landed straight on my back. And the people that I was with started laughing, and they were like, "We've never seen anybody fall off the roof before." I just did, and I'm gonna get up. And I got up. I climbed back up on the roof because I was changing out the neon. Our neon had broken, and my arms started to not work.
Oh.
And I could feel my legs buckling from underneath me. And I had to roll down the roof, and they had to help me down. I went to the doctor, and I couldn't move. I didn't think I was going to be able to walk the way I'm walking right now. And the doctor said, well, it's going to take a long time to heal. And I looked up what I can do for inflammation, what I could do for all this other stuff.
Did you hurt, like, did you injure your spine, or was it just like what was that was making you not be able to walk?
I didn't break anything, and my doctor was super surprised.
Yeah. I'm just surprised you got up and went back
Yeah,
up
me
the
too.
roof.
Well, remember, Lucha Daddy was not, he was under the influence of a lot of things.
Fair enough.
Yes, we're just going to leave it at that. And so I was able to get up with my super strength. And so the doctor was like, wow, you didn't break anything. No, I didn't break anything. I said, but I can't walk. And he said, well, this is going to take a long, 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 long time to heal. And I thought to myself, I don't want it to take a long time to heal. So I started looking up what I can do for the inflammation. And one of the things was stop drinking alcohol. I was like, oh, God. So I stopped for about 8 months. I stopped drinking alcohol for 8 months. It helped a little bit. Yeah, it helped a little bit. But I reintroduced alcohol back into my system, and I don't drink the way I used to drink. Yeah. I drink very little because it does hurt. If I drink too much, I try to stay away from beer because that's what gives me those inflammations. That brings out that pain. So I'll stick with liquor, and I try not to drink so much, just enough to have a little bit of fun and socialize. Yeah. And then the next thing I introduced was I had this special person in my life, and she said, "Hey, you're getting a little chunky there," and she said, "Let's go do CrossFit or Gold's Fit over at Gold's Gym." Mm-hmm. I couldn't lift 5 pounds, and
because of the inflammation, or just
because of everything. Okay. Everything. My back hurt, inflammation. My muscles felt so weak. I couldn't lift anything, and it hurt.
I was going to say I do get a lot of inflammation from the beer, but mostly when I try to put my pants
on.
Sorry. That's what I was saying. Every time you said inflammation, I was like...
follow the Lucha Daddy's plan, and you will get rid of that inflammation. Maybe even that belly.
Maybe. Not in San Antonio with the tacos.
No, that's hard. It's so hard.
I'll give up alcohol. I won't give up tacos.
I try to give it up. I try. One of my buddies says, quit munching. I can't. No se puede. So I went to start doing that, and I started doing yoga. I started doing just lifting. I started doing everything I could possibly. And yoga is actually one of the ones that helps out the most. I even did where they put the needles on you. I don't remember what it's called. And I know you're going to think about that one for a little while. I don't know what it's called. I was
going to say chiropractor. But
no, I did go to the chiropractor. I went to masseuses. I did everything.
Acupuncture. Was it acupuncture? Because there's also one of my friends. He's a physical therapist, Dr. Edwin Serrano.
Hey, shout out.
He's been on here. That's the only reason I shout out his name. But he does something called dry needling. And it's super cool. Because it's just like bam, bam, puts the needles in, but then he sometimes puts that tense machine onto the needles.
I've done that.
Feel it. That's I loved that.
Yeah, try it on your feet.
I had it. Well, he did it for my back because also I was in a car accident years ago, and I had like a really bad lower back until I went to him. This is like a commercial for him. But he did it on my back and my lower butt, and dude, the muscle, like, it was amazing.
I love it. I had eczema on my back, and I would do it, and it went away.
Oh, really?
Yes.
With the
needling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was great. I need to go back and do it. I believe in it 100%. And I did do it on my feet, and I screamed, and
It hurt?
Oh, it hurt. It hurt so much. I don't really scream too much, and I screamed, and they said, "Well, that's only one foot." I was like, "You don't have to do this. You know, we have to do them both so they can be even." Okay. They would, but this one they would put the little vibrating machine, or they would just flick it.
Flick it, yeah.
I don't care which one they did. It hurt. It hurt
imagine.
either way.
I can imagine.
So I did all of that, and then one day I was able to jump on a box, no problem. I was able to run again. I'm in a run group now. Shout out to my run group. Y'all know who it is. Downtown. It's a downtown run group.
Okay.
But
you know who you are.
Yeah, y'all know who you are. I'm gonna keep on saying that. Y'all know who you are. And I've met amazing people doing this.
Yeah.
I do the CrossFit now, or it's called Gold's Fit. To my trainer, you know who you are, Melissa.
You know who you are.
Thank you for dragging me into those CrossFit classes. And then I go on my own every day, every morning I'm there at the gym. If it's for 30 minutes, it's for an hour. I'm there. I work on a body part. Let me tell you, my back doesn't hurt anymore. I used to not be able to walk. Now I'm able to walk. I'm able to lift. I'm able to so many things. I wasn't able to do so many things. Now I'm able to do everything. And now I'm just working on my body. I have to play. I'm playing Lucha Daddy. I have to look like Lucha Daddy. So I'm working really hard and staying away from my favorite things: tacos, flour tortillas. Oh, I love Tex-Mex food. Yeah. And it's not good for the dieting. But I do have to sacrifice.
No, I get it. Listen,
sacrifice.
Today, this morning, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a late start, so I get to sleep in. And I was like, no, man, you got to work out because you're not going to be able to work out later. Just do it now. Yeah. And I was like, it was so hard to get out of bed. And I was like, and then what I thought about was like, okay, you're going to the Luchador Bar with the Lucha Daddy himself. The Lucha Daddy himself. He looks good. He's working out.
Yeah.
At least get a workout in. So I did a quick shoulder workout just so I can look, machine gun. But right after that, took a shower, ate some tacos, and then
Then that's what's horrible about it. So I don't even think I've eaten anything. Did I eat anything today? I have not eaten anything today.
Oh.
I had a coffee and maybe one granola bar, a little bit of a granola bar. And I'm gonna go after this. I'm gonna go work out, and then maybe hit the pool, maybe not, and then come back because tonight we have Sucia Bingo, Sucia Bingo. Where you can win a lot of nasty little things. Lucha Daddy is not in those prizes.
Or it might be. You know who you are. I should have done what like that old school like movie people would do like to get their muscles to pop out. It was like not eat
steroids.
Anything. No, it said not eat anything, and then it's for their veins. So that's supposedly like you drink a glass of wine, red wine. And your veins pop out.
No way.
Supposedly, I don't know. I've never done it.
I'll try that. I'll do it.
Whole bottle of wine.
Before I go to the pool, I'll just take a little.
Yeah, that's what I
didn't work, but I did have a good time.
That's what I've heard. It's too hard, too fast. We don't check facts, but that's what I've heard once. I have never tried it out, but so I'm thinking if a glass of wine makes your veins pop out, imagine a whole bottle just.
Oh my god! I've done
a
whole bottle. Yeah. Hey, but back. I do want to tell everybody this right here because my story, that story. I made it sound really short. That's over 2 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's after over 2 years of actually doing that, and it's just been this last year that I've been going every day to the gym. It doesn't happen automatically. It doesn't happen right away. It doesn't happen overnight. This is just with everything. Don't give up. Don't give up your dreams. Don't give up working out. Don't give up wanting to open up that business. Don't give up. Don't give up going to school. I almost did. You'll get through everything. It just takes a little bit of work.
How many times did you feel like giving up during those 2 years?
Every day. Every day.
What kept you going?
The way she looked at me, that kept me going. And you know who you are.
You know who you are.
it was a word. It was, and she said, and I wish I could turn that phone off, and I apologize.
All right.
And you guys are. There was a person that told me this.
Whoever's calling, you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. There was a person that told me this. This is actually what kept me going, and this stays in the back of my head all the time while I'm working out. You're a very complacent man. I could see the person that you're going to be, and I don't know if that person's strong enough to come out of you.
Oh, wow. That's deep.
Bro, I had to look up complacent.
That's deep, though. After the definition. We'll put the definition up here in case you don't know. Either.
I knew what it was.
No.
I just had to read it over.
There's words that I use all the time. And I'm like, I think that's what it means. And then I'll look it up and it's like, oh, crap, I've been using that wrong.
And so when I meet people, there was a very special person in my life. You know who you are.
You know who you are.
You're
gonna have to make that into a shirt.
Yeah, you know who you are.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. I'm talking about you. You know who you are. And she was a special person in my life, and I was hard. I'm hard on a lot of people. I'm hard on my kids. I'm hard on everybody. And I tell them, hey, I can now see what that person was telling me. I see who's inside of you. And I want you to be. I don't say it like, and I don't know if you are strong enough to be who I see inside of you. Mm-hmm. I look at you and I say, man, I want you to come out of what I see. I see such a beautiful person, strong person, talented person, successful person, and I see them in there. And I just want you to come out, because on this side, it's so much nicer. It's so much easier. Is it easy to get there? No, it's not easy to get there.
Yeah.
But oh my God, you'll feel so much better on this side. You'll feel so much better on this side. And so I lose a lot of people nowadays because I tell them that, I see it so much better in you than what you are right now.
Yeah.
And it could be harsh, I guess.
It can be, but it makes sense. I know I relate to that, and actually my wife and I just had this conversation this morning. It started off joking around, but it got serious, because it's true. Like she mentioned, like, joking around, I was like, that's why you have so many enemies. I was like, I don't have any enemies. Nobody really hates me.
It's good to have enemies sometimes.
Right. But I my thought is like, I don't really have enemies, but I do have a lot of people that don't like me, and I don't have any friends anymore. But well, I say I don't have friends. I have friends. You know who you are. I have friends. There was for the longest time I would joke around like, I have no friends, and then my friends started getting mad for me saying that. But I have lost a lot of friends because I'm very much a realist, and I'll tell them, I'll call out their crap, I'll call out their lies, and I welcome that too. Like, if I'm being facetious, that's not the right term. If I'm not being truthful to you,
we're gonna look up facetious later and put it on there too.
You know who you are. Then I want them to call me out. Like, I'm not perfect at all. I'm far from it.
Oh, I'm far from it too, man.
I do want better for everybody, especially if you're in my life. I want you to win too. I want the best for you, but I can't just cuddle you all the way.
Yeah.
Like, if I see something, I want it, but I want you to know. But that sounds ugly. Like,
no.
Me creo mucho. I don't.
But there's also steps.
Yeah.
So we took a step, and we see now, we're like, oh, but there are more steps behind us or in front of us.
Yeah.
And there's probably people that are they're gonna come into our lives, and they're gonna say, I see you being better than this.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute, but I was better than what I was yesterday, last year, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
No, you can be better than this. Oh shit! So I have to start all over again. So never get complacent and where you are, because you can always do better. You can always be better. Your mind can always be better.
Yeah. No, I agree. And 5 years before, 7 years before, I was a real piece of shit.
Oh. Yeah.
And Now I'm still a piece of shit, but this is, but
You're a better piece
just
of
a
shit.
more shinier one, you know.
We're putting that on a shirt too.
Well, and that's
I'm a
funny
better
with
piece of shit.
I'm a better piece of shit. One thing I say when we talk about like motivation, and I really like yours because it's very positive, but not just positive, because you know how everybody's like, your body's perfect. No, it is. No, it's not. You gotta do better. Well, you're like talking
yeah,
about like
go ahead.
bringing out that good, that
Yeah.
better
Oh, yes.
out of you. I look in the mirror and go, I'm a fat ass piece of shit, and then I get myself in there. But I like it. It's like it's the perfect negative talk for me to get myself in the gym. And now I've made little stickers out of it too. It says "Fapos," fat ass piece of shit.
Oh, well, I need one of those.
I'll get you. I think I got some.
I
in my
want
bag.
one of those.
I should have some in my back.
Oh no, yeah, I mine is a little bit more positive. It's like I see it in you, and I want you to be there. I want you to do it, and I know that they can.
Yeah.
Because if I'm your friend, you better know that I know that you can be better than what you are. And my friends know that I've struggled a lot. So some of them are probably looking at me right now. You know who you are. They're looking at me and saying, "Oh my!" They're rolling their eyes and they're saying, "He's only better from last year." Okay, well maybe I'm better from last year. I'm still a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's been working out and maybe he's lost a couple of pant sizes. Yes, it took me 2 years to lose those 2 or 3 pant sizes.
The only thing I've lost was pants. But I'm better than yesterday.
It's better. Yes, I'm better than I was. I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. And that goes back to this bar too. I want this bar to be better than it was last year. And it already is.
Yeah.
I want it to be better than it was when I first opened. Oh my God. From opening to now has been like a college course, and I didn't come from the bar background, and before I even opened this place, I didn't know what a well liquor. I didn't know what all the beers were, craft beer. I didn't know what any of that was. So going from a guy that had only been to a few bars and was only there for the music, because I loved music. I was more of a club person. I liked clubs. Got married, stopped going to clubs, came back in, got divorced, started going to where the music was. I really didn't care about, didn't know that there was a whole different world of craft drinks, craft beer, different kinds of liquors. I didn't know any of that. And so when they offered me, they was like, "Hey, you want to open up a bar?" I was like, "Sure." And I went in there and I started asking questions, and I was like, "Oh my God, there's so much to learn here." There's so many, and every day is a learning experience. Yeah. Every day is a learning experience. It's not just creating the name, the atmosphere, the culture. Yeah, there's people's lives that are working for you, and they're counting on you. They're counting on you, and you can easily break their hearts.
Yeah.
Disappoint them. Sometimes never talk to them again because you do something that was wrong, or that you thought was right, that you thought it was the right thing to do. And man, you that's a big lesson to learn.
Yeah.
When you make a mistake like that, because you have so many people depending on you. And but when you do the right thing, oh man, yeah, people love you.
Yeah.
People love you, and you have to hold your heart and say, you know what, don't get happy, because you can easily make a wrong decision and break break your heart and disappoint a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I have to constantly make decisions. Hopefully they're right for everybody. And if they're not, go back to the drawing board, put my mask away for a while, put it back on when I think I have the right ideas.
Yeah.
Come back and do it again. So man, this is
It's
I
a
didn't know,
tricky
I didn't know this
balance,
was
and
this would be this kind of a podcast. Oh my
it's been
god!
good. I like it. So it's had its funny moments, and it's been very serious. I honestly, yeah, who would have thought putting on two masks we would have gone so deep, But I really enjoyed this conversation. We're not completely over yet, so don't switch the channel.
Don't.
But we are getting close to the end. I have a few more questions to ask you. So I wanted to make sure I touched on this since you kind of mentioned that, and we talked about being better, and your bar being better, getting better. You were mentioning that by the time when people see this, and the stuff around, by the time when they see it and they come back to the bar, it's gonna be a whole new atmosphere. Well, not atmosphere, but a whole new decor. Correct?
Yeah. The look of the bar is going to be different. So when you come in, the floors are going to be different. There's going to be a red carpet with some flowers. There's going to be the hardwood is going to be shiny with flowers going up to the stage. There's going to be a new libations drinks off on the chalkboard over there. See where it says Luchador Libations?
Mm.
New drinks are coming, and they're going to be based off of El Santo's movies. So when you come in, it's going to say Luchador Libations based off of El Santo films. And so each film is going to be in English. I didn't want to put it in Spanish, even though a lot of us speak Spanish.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. A lot of us don't,
Yeah.
Me. I don't want to, and even though I'm learning Spanish, I don't know it that well. So I'm putting everything in English. The shots will be in Spanish, but they're going to be moves that luchadors make. So, or like the good guy, the bad guy, técnico, rudo. I can't even pronounce my R's. Plancha and things like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a really great cocktail list. And we're going to go back and forth from, because, San Antonio, we really only have 2 seasons. Summer.
Hot and hotter.
Yeah, summer, and then kind of the fall, and then summer again. So we're going to have the summer and then the winter. And I think the winter is going to be Mil Máscaras films.
Okay.
So it's going to be Mil Máscaras films, El Santo films. We're gonna create drinks based off of them.
You can't forget Octagon.
Oh, Octagon, yeah. We do have, and we will have wrestling here in at the bar. We're gonna have it outside. And this is a great time. Can I promote my bar a little bit right now?
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna take a break from all this motivational stuff. So here at Luchador Bar, when I first opened it, I wanted it to be for the people. I wanted it to be for the community. So music was a big part of it. We had back in the day a lot of bands coming through. We would like to have that happen again. So if you're a band, hit us up. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. We used to have all types of DJs coming through. Right now we have a house DJ. He's great. I love him. But we will be adding maybe like 80s new wave nights. We do have Morrissey nights where we play nothing but Morrissey maybe every couple of months. It sounds weird and crazy, but it works. It's so awesome. We have karaoke every day, Monday through Sunday. Look us up. If you're a karaoke fan, we have a great stage out there that you can come out and you can sing. You can put a mask on. We do sell masks. We sell. Not only do we sell masks, we sell all that little merchandise right over there. We have little wrestling rings, piñatas, shirts, hats, beanies. We still have some fiesta medals. We have it all. We also sell artwork here. So we not only did we want to be a part of the community, we wanted to be proud of, have you all be proud of us for creating something really cool in this area, not taking it to, say, the north side or even downtown. People have always asked, why did you all open it here? It could have been so much cooler over there. You know what? This is where I'm from. I'm from the south side of San Antonio. And I was tired of going all the way to the north side to go to the clubs or go to the bars or whatever I was going to at the time. And I wanted to create something here so I could only drive like 8 minutes away. It was a personal thing for me. I wanted it to be on the south side. Eventually, we will be opening up a second location.
Heard it here first.
And it'll be the same theme, but different. And you'll hear more about that later on. But yeah, so we're constantly working with artists. We're constantly working with musicians, and our community.
Yeah. And I've seen that. I've seen, especially through the Luchador's Instagram, where you bring different events of all walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's cool to have different music, because even like the younger kids, you know who you are, they're being introduced to songs that they may not hear on their own because it's old stuff.
Yeah.
But it sounds good. They come in. It's a good time.
Yeah.
So it does seem very much a community bar.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You come in and you'll have an 80-year-old person in here with dancing to Hands on Your Knees.
My favorite.
And and then you'll have the 21-year-olds in here. They're taking their first shots.
Yeah, in moms and dads' eyes, their first shot.
Yeah, I was doing air quotes there.
First legal. We'll put it that.
The first one they're buying at a bar.
Check my ID. Sorry.
No, that's right. But yeah, so you don't feel like you're not going to be included. When you see the outside of the bar, now the outside of the bar has gotten a lot more colorful and brighter out there. It used to be really dark, and there was only that one neon sign, so it could have been really scary back in the day. But if you knew about us, you came, you felt really cool. I felt cool.
Yeah.
I was a bartender for a hot minute, made the worst drinks. I don't have to do that anymore.
Perfect. I love that you could karaoke in a mask. I would definitely. I don't like karaoke because I can't sing. But also, I love to be on stage. Like one of my dreams is to like end up being like a host at something, like hosting events or hosting whatever. But so I don't mind being on stage and talking, but to sing on stage, definitely not gonna happen. But with a mask, I probably would do it.
Yeah, no, man.
Yeah, I would do it.
I talked to somebody and they said they almost said the same. I said the same thing to them. I said, "Oh, I need to practice at that song." They said, "Why?" Well, I said, "I'm singing karaoke." They said, "It's basically reading." I said, and breathing, reading and breathing. Yes. So it's not hard. Karaoke is not hard. So if any of y'all ever wanted to do karaoke, just get up there. I had a friend that she did karaoke for the first time, and she was messing up, and I went up there, and I'll run up there, and I'll go sing with you. I won't know the song, but I'll sing with you, and I will not leave you alone and make you feel like you were alone and you were embarrassed by yourself. I'll be embarrassed with you.
Yeah,
Shoot.
that's awesome.
Yeah, if Lucha Daddy's here, go sing with you.
You know who you are.
I love it. I love first-time singers. I love people that have been practicing their songs in their rooms. We do have karaoke contests. Yesterday we had a contest, and we follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and you'll find out when you can come in, sign up for those contests, sign up for, or just come in and watch them.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The grand prize is $1,000. Do it in your mask.
No, that's what I definitely.
Yeah.
I've been really comfortable. I thought it was gonna be really. At first, I was like, okay, this like wearing the mask for the podcast. So I'm like, we'll wear it for 5 minutes. We'll take it off and continue. No, I've been like super comfortable in this.
Yeah. No, you can. Here, look here. I'm gonna take off my mask.
Oh.
Doing it. So if you're just listening to it,
Here we go.
No, you need to watch it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just a
If you're not listening, if you're
I'm
just
a regular
listening,
guy. You can just go. Now you can tell the bartenders, I know the
Here we
owner.
go, the reveal.
I know the owner. They'll know that you're lying.
If you're just listening, we've been wearing Luchador Masks this whole time, and we're finally getting a reveal from the Lucha Daddy to Jesse Campos. the owner of Luchador Bar. I'm gonna keep my mask on because I've really enjoyed it.
There you go. So, yeah, don't tell the bartenders you know me. They'll know that you're lying. But I know what he looks like.
Fine, I'll take off my mask too.
There you
And
go.
then look at this. It's gonna be kind of the same. I'm gonna need to
Yeah.
like do the trade. Oh, and you know what? This could be a reveal too, because this is the first time my longer hair is gonna be like on camera.
Oh. Do it like a commercial. Yeah, I forgot to take off my headphones too. There you go, the shake.
All right, reveals. Now I look like a mess. No, so this I appreciate the conversations. Where can people follow you or the bar?
You know, I didn't go over one other little
Oh, okay.
thing, and before we leave this whole thing, so Lucha Daddy, is a guy. Look, he's just. There's a whole backstory to Lucha Daddy. One day I'll tell you the whole thing on a different podcast. But right now,
On this one, I hope.
maybe this one. But you know who you are.
You know who you are.
So Lucha Daddy, don't be surprised when I go into a bar. I do some reviews. So I have my own Lucha Daddy review page. I have Jesse Campos page, and then I have the El Luchador page. And if you ever need to get in contact with any of us, me, Ben, Bonnie, the owners of El Luchador, you can message us there, and I'll go I'll get you our phone numbers. We'll get in contact with you. But Lucha Daddy does go into different bars, and he does reviews. But the reviews aren't on the drinks. So I want everybody to know that. Any bar owners out there listening to this, I go in there, and it's about my experience with my friends on when I go on dates, when I'm just alone, when I'm having a cocktail, or I'm playing pool, or I'm listening to the music, or I'm watching a UFC fight. It's my experience in being there, and it's told in story form. So it's about Lucha Daddy, and I embellish a little bit. It's not on the drinks, even though I do have cocktails, and I do say what I'm drinking at the time. I don't mention the drink. If it's delicious, yes, okay, it was delicious. But if it's not, I don't care. It's about the experience of me being there with my friends, how much of a good time I had, the music that you were playing, and the people that I was meeting, the owners that I was meeting. And it's just a lot of fun for me, because I do forget what I experienced when I go to these bars.
Yeah.
You can go to a bar and you can get a little drunk, and you're like, what did I do over there?
Yeah.
Lucha Daddy writes down notes, and then he types them out. It does take a little bit longer because I do have ADHD, and so it does take me a little bit of time, but I am working on 2 right now. One is Sings, and one is Pistache, and I'm going to be doing it on both of those. I had such a great time when I was there, and look out for those reviews. So, yeah, that's where you can reach us.
That's pretty cool. I like that idea, and it's new. It's like everybody does. People do review like the drinks, the food.
Yeah.
But very rarely do I see somebody reviewing the atmosphere, the experience, just journaling. The whole vibe.
And being and when I'm talking about it, and I'm not in my mask. I'll take my mask with me, and I'll take a picture with my drink right there. And Lucha Daddy was here, Sometimes I'll wear my mask. Most of the time I don't wear my mask. And in my writing, I want you to imagine me in my mask. I want you to imagine me going in there and being with my friends. I call them the Lucha Gang. And my Lucha Gang can be anybody. It can be you can be you when we go out. You're my Lucha Gang.
Amen.
It can be a bunch of people that I go with. My running group. Shout out to my running group.
Do we have to get jumped in?
No. So you're part of my Lucha Gang, which is not an actual gang, but we're just people that are wanting to have fun. We want to create memories. We don't want to grow up, even though we have to in this world. And so when we go in there, we create our own fun. But when the atmosphere is amazing, that just adds to that story.
Yeah.
And it adds to the readers. they can see it and they're like, oh, this sounds like a really fun time. This sounds really, really fun. Or I'll put on there that I had a date, or my last one was on a lost love, so it's not really about. It sounds funny, but it's about lost love, and it's a whole story about this person that I see at a bar I'm at, and I'm really not talking about the bar. I'm talking about my experience at that bar.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's really cool, but you have to imagine me in my mask. You have to imagine the whole thing. So, it just came out of nowhere, and that's why it's taking me a little longer, because I have to actually be in that mind of Lucha Daddy, and then going through my night. And I always start off here at this bar, or I always mention this bar.
Yeah.
Like, this is Lucha Daddy's lair. He smokes stogies, drink whiskey.
That's awesome. Yeah.
There's a whole backstory on Lucha Daddy, and one day I will reveal it, and it's like a cartoon.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, I appreciate the conversation, and I want to say to the 2H2Fers, I want you guys to dream of me in my Rey Mysterio mask. You know who you are.
Oh.
But with that said, one more question before we close out. Too hard, too fast story. Either a drunk funny story, just a funny story, words of wisdom, or a cautionary tale. Whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah. Let's see here. I know I said I had one before, but I was going to really talk about it was going to be about me falling off the roof, but I thought it was better told then. But I'm just gonna kind of repeat what I said earlier. Don't give up on what you're doing right now if it's your dream. Because if you give up, you're not gonna see if that dream does come to fruition. And if you don't give up and you create something of that dream, isn't that better than not seeing it happen at all?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So keep on going. Don't give up. You can do it.
Yeah, because your original dream may not be what happens, but something else can come from that.
Yeah. I wanted to open up a coffee shop.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want to fall off a roof. I wanted to eat my tacos and just be happy.
Yeah.
And now I have a different journey.
I like that. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone too hard, too fast with the Lucha Daddy himself, Jesse Campos, here at the Luchador Bar, El Luchador Bar in San Antonio, Texas. The address.
622 Roosevelt, San Antonio, Texas. 78210.
Like I said, and there's that phone call. You know who you are. Bye.